Don't you hate it when you're playing a rank game with your friends, you guys are chilling, having a good time, clicking some heads, sharing a couple laughs, but then you get that one game where the enemy Reyna just goes off. Like, absolutely nothing can stop her. You could run her over with your uncle's Ford F-150 and she'll just get back up and drop another 4-piece in the next round. And then, when the game is all said and done, you look at the leaderboard and she's got like 40 or 50 and you lost the game. That doesn't feel good, right? Well, unless you just got super lucky, you probably ran into an Immortal or Radiant Smurf in your game. And yeah, those aren't fun. I understand you. I get it. You just want to play some Valorant with your friends and not get one tapped as soon as you swing every angle. This just isn't fun. But at the same time, wouldn't it be nice to be that Reyna? Wouldn't it be nice to have the answers to everything? Like, who would want to drop 40 bombs every game and just instantly pull themselves out of any rank they want to? Well, I'll be honest. If you're getting dumpstered on a duelist like that, you're probably just getting out mechanic by them. And if you do want to do what they're doing, you just need to keep grinding away at your mechanical skill. And we have tons of videos showing you how you can hit those levels. And if that's what you want to hear about, please check those out. But today on SkillCapped, we're going over how an Immortal 3 level player, which is me, and how I can smurf without using my aim so much, but instead my brain. Before we hop in, just a bit of background in this video. I was told this week to make a video showing off my utility usage, communication, teamwork, and not so much my aim while smurfing in this platinum lobby. And smurfing without relying on your aim is possible. Let me show you and let's get started. And what better way to start off this video with a simple tip. Please follow Sova's drone. I don't know why, but people ranging from every rank just don't follow Sova's drone, and as a matter of fact, they run in front of it. It's literally a budget Phoenix ultimate. It literally sees everything, can tag anyone, and gives you walls on that person. It can give you so much map control because people are afraid to shoot it, both on offense and defense. It can set up your teammates. It can literally do anything you want. Let's take a look at our first clip. Playing as a support player means that you should be trying to put your teammates, especially your duelists, in advantageous situations using your utility. As I mentioned before, Sova's drone is arguably the best space-making ability in the game, and in this round, you can hear me tell my Jett that she can walk up mid alongside it. From there, she can either trade the drone out, or post up on an angle and secure that map control for our team. I call out that I spotted out both the KO and the Killjoy, and they were hiding from my drone. Since they decided to give up that map control and not fight it, I told my Jett to post up and try to get a kill, and then she does. People in lower ranks know the concept of map control, but don't really understand it. Because my Sova drone got all of mid control, the enemy team has to sacrifice some form of utility in order to gain that map control back. And if you don't have any utility, and then you have to physically clear it with your bodies, which can be risky against an operator like in this situation here. So if you play a support player and know how to set your duelists up, your team's going to be kind of hard to stop. Alright, before I go any further, I know you guys really want to become one of those Smurfs that drops 50 on you every time. Well, if you want gameplay and commentary from people who can literally do that, we at SkillCapped have a collection of Radiant Smurf commentaries where Radiant level players simply walk and talk you through their entire game. We also do VOD reviews for a lot of people and post them there too. These are like 45 minutes long from about all ranks. We review VODs at random, so if you want a chance at having your VOD reviewed, be sure to check us out. We also have online courses covering a variety of topics, from game sense to mechanics to utility usage and everything in between. And these courses are all created by Radiant level players. Top 500 in the nation. So if you want solid advice from some of the best that Valorant has to offer, I highly suggest that you check out the website. We also have a rank improvement guarantee so that if you don't see a rank improving, you'll get your money back. But there's literally so much value here, I find it hard that you won't improve. If you're looking for the fastest way to climb a Valorant, be sure to check out SkillCapped.com, link in the description below. Alright, so speaking of map control, Icebox is a map where it isn't very easy to hold map control, meaning that you have to decide to either play retake or get aggressive on certain parts of the map. Or you can even do both. As you know, a common duo on Icebox are Jett and Reyna, and the reason why that is because both of these agents can get into risky spots, get early kills, and get out with their lives. And this is really important in order to win an Icebox. It's full of just random angles, above you, below you, in deep corners, and both of these agents are pretty necessary if you want to win the game. People in lower ranks tend to be less aggressive, and when people start dying or losing rounds, they'll start saying, okay guys, let's stop peeking, or they're just afraid to peek or something like that. Well, it isn't a bad idea to peek or get aggressive, and if you are getting punished, then you should change the way that you're trying to go for kills. Maybe hold a different angle, have a teammate try to set you up, maybe try playing passive a few rounds and aggressive another few. Just switch it up and try to be unpredictable. Sort of like if you're playing Cypher or Killjoy. Don't show them the same setup twice. But what people don't understand is that playing aggressive forces the enemy team to use utility to clear you out that would be otherwise used for the site. It conditions them in a way. Think about it. If you're playing attack side on any map, and the enemy team never peeks you, then why not just walk up to any site and you just start your team's execute? You need to take duels or make aggressive plays so the enemy team is conditioned to use their utility, or they're just going to dump it all into sight, or just save it for when your team is trying to retake. So with that being said, as a support player, you should help your teammates when they're trying to go for these aggressive peaks. This means doing things like shooting the arrow that usually comes to the front part of Icebox on A when your duelists are trying to get up and aggressive, or even arrowing for them to buy them time to post up. From this forces the enemy team to use even more utility to clear out any early aggression, leaving less utility for the actual site hit. Here's what it looks like when your team isn't aggressive and the enemy team can just walk all over you. Notice how my team was just able to walk onto site almost virtually for free? We overwhelmed the two guys trying to hold it, got a free bomb plant, and eventually won the round. Like, it literally just looks like a deathmatch. And all this took was my 400 credit drone and my free recon arrow. I mean, yes, my ultimate helped, but that's not what won us the round. Playing retake on Icebox isn't a bad idea by any means, but you definitely need to bait out utility or do some damage or get a kill, because if you don't, you can just get stalled out by the excess utility not used on the site hit. The next thing I want to talk about is how you should be supporting your duelists as much as you can, depending on the map. Icebox, like I said, is really strong for Sova, as it's extremely hard to hold against his drone, plus an army of brain-dead monkeys just running behind it. If the enemy team doesn't do anything about it, the drone literally gets you a free sight, plus wall hacks and anybody attacks. By the way, if you want to counter the drone, you could do things like flashing the drone as it comes into sight and then breaking it. You could have your Sova jordan them back, just something to stall them a little bit so you can buy yourself enough time to get a kill, or maybe do some damage, or make the enemy team use extra utility, like I said before. So let's take a look at what it looks like when you're properly using utility for your duelists. With good communication, it's going to be really hard to hold a sight against something like this. I'm walking up with you.
Okay. I'm watching you.
KO back sight.
No, KO's back again. Nice. Raise CT.
Oh, this guy sees me.
Raise hit 120.
Nice. Let's go.
A good routine to get into if you're a Sova player is arrowing this tall column to start. This pings anyone off of pipes, plus anyone trying to take the rope. If it gets broken, then you should use your drone from a bit farther back, sort of behind nest. But if it isn't broken, you can literally walk up to pipes for free, start your drone from there, and if it's never broken, it can literally reach the back of site. And then if your teammates follow it, you win. Notice how with my callouts, our team just steamrolls the enemies and just takes the site entirely for free without a problem. Here's another round where this same thing happens. My Reyna is getting a bunch of free kills off of my utility, and this is something that duelists need to start doing. No, not fragging out, but you need to start asking your support players for help in setting you up for plays. You're the fragger on the team, the space maker. You need to get these kills to help your team win the round. And just think about it. Who are the support players supposed to support? Themselves? I mean, sometimes, but obviously not. You as a duelist need to ask for help from them to make your lives that much easier. So next time you play Icebox, you can tell your teammates, hey Sova, can you drone up A and arrow A for me? Or if you're the support player, maybe you tell your duelists how you're going to support them for that next round. And this goes for any map. Maybe you're playing on Ascent. Hey guys, I'm playing as Astra. I'm going to suck A main off the rip so we get A main control. Or I'm playing Breach. I'm going to stun B main at the start of the round to get B main control. All of these things just do the same thing. Having this level of teamwork and communication is something that you never see in lower ranks, so if you start doing it, you're going to have an upper hand on the enemy team. Next, one of the most important things you're going to want to recognize if you want to be a high-ranking player is when you need to make a play. Constantly, people talk about how it's important to play as a team, with your teammates, to wait for them, but in certain situations, that's just not possible, and you're actually more likely to lose the round if you're not playing for yourself. Let's take a look at this round where my team is having a hard time getting the plant down on B site. So B site is extremely hard to plant on, simply because there's only like one good spot to plant on and it's behind the crates. So if your team is getting shut down, somebody needs to step up in order to make that space for your team by scaling up the left side of the site. And if you don't do this, the guy planting the bomb is probably going to get destroyed. To a lot of lower rank players, most would probably just sit behind yellow and just say a prayer that the plant finally gets off. The correct thing to do in this situation is to scale up the left side of site and try to find a kill somewhere near orange to try and alleviate some of that pressure for your team. Granted, I got one and died. Had I gotten two, I'd guarantee that I'd win the round for my team. We also had bad weapons, and I thought maybe I can take the guy CT by surprise. But regardless, you should be trying to find a timing or an opportunity to try and even out the advantage, especially when your team's down. I mean, just think about it. If you're in a 3 versus 5 on CT side, you're never going to win if you all just play together and play trades. The math just doesn't make any sense. But if you can find that timing or catch the enemy off guard and even out the score, you might just win your team the round. And lastly, even though I mentioned it previously, mechanics are still extremely important if you want to smurf or rank up to a higher rank. It's not the most important thing, but it certainly helps. Sometimes your play just doesn't work out, or maybe your teammates are just doing something stupid, and you need to take matters in your own hands and try to win your team the round. I like to think that I have good recoil control, reaction time, and composure to win fights that I normally shouldn't, so in this round, I sort of show that off. It's nothing flashy, but I definitely won the round with my mechanics. And as I said before, being able to out-mechanic your opponent is really important if you want to rank up, but it's obviously not everything. You need some brains in there. And if you want better mechanics, it's something that you're going to have to solely focus on. This means grinding death matches, as boring as those are, VOD reviewing, and simply playing the game more. We have tons of specific videos talking about how to improve your mechanics, and if you want more help in this area, I highly suggest that you check those out. So, if you want to become Radiant, Immortal 3, or whatever rank you want to hit, check out our other guides, and we can help round out your gameplay, rank up faster, and maybe even one day, when you can click heads enough, you could join the top 1% of Valorant. Also, by the way, if you want a chance at having your VOD reviewed by one of us, be sure to subscribe on our website at SkillCapped.com. Like I said before, we also have tons of Radiant Smurf commentaries where Radiant level players talk you through their games and just show you how to play. Why wouldn't you want help from Valorant's best? It's just super helpful to see in real time what goes through a top tier player's head. As you mentioned before, it's also backed by a rank improvement guarantee, and the reason we do that is because we're just that confident that our service works. And if it doesn't work, then you shouldn't pay. So what are you waiting for? You got nothing to lose. Head on over to SkillCapped.com and get started in your raid to that rank that you deserve. So yeah, hopefully you guys have a little bit better insight in the head of an Immortal 3 level player. I'm not perfect, but I definitely know that I have a good enough understanding of the game to share with you guys and smurf at these lower ranks. And my aim and overall gameplay can carry me out of almost every rank. I'm a support player usually in our rank games and on my team that I play for. This means that you have to know how to set up your teammates for success, and as you duelists, you have to know how to get your support players to help you, so you can help win any round. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel down below. It really does help us out. And that's all for us. I'm Teets, and we here at SkillCapped want to thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.